Greetings, Aquarians, and welcome to my YouTube channel, One Who Sees Tarot. This is going to be your weekly reading for the dates of August the 26th, 2019 through September the 2nd, 2019. Spirit Guide has already been invoked and the cards have been anointed, shuffled, and cut based on the directions and instructions given to me by my spirit guide. And so with your kind permission, may I begin a look at and an interpretation of the sacred tarot for you. Please forgive that little pause. I was really listening to something. As I was preparing myself for this reading, the Spirit showed me, and I really want to work with you particularly this week, Aquarian. So I can't tell you, I won't tell you everything on the public air, but if you email me, I will give you some free advice about what the Spirit is telling me, particularly about finances. I do see finances, money particularly for you for this 7-day cycle. So this is a time for you to prepare for finances and prepare for money. Okay, let me begin with a look at and an interpretation of the sacred tarot for you. Very nice energy, very good energy. So I do see that this is a strong week for, it could very well be a week of sort of like celebration because there's this indulgence going on this week. Your overarching energies for this week are that of indulgence. Some of you might be looking at some fun times with your intimate partner, and some of you might actually be looking at some fun times with yourself, but the idea is pleasure and indulgence, which to me kind of symbolizes celebration for you this week. I do see schooling and education as a definite, it's definitely strong throughout the week, very strong for you. And I'm looking at employment also for some of you. And so this idea of education, sometimes it could refer to you actually returning to class, learning some new skills. That's very, very powerful for you this week. Definitely a good time for you to zero in on the skills that you need to make the next step in your life. I also see a very strong time for love and for passion. Some of you are really in the zone this week. Some of you are really sitting on the throne of power as it relates to love, as it relates to having a sort of savoir. Some of you really have a certain charm going on with you this week. As you get into the middle of the week, I do see where you are coming to terms with the need to push some people out. Some of you are getting ready to make a sacrifice, and that is this pushing some people out of your life, pushing some people out. There is this idea of some things have not been fair, some things have not been balanced for you. And so that's where you're getting this idea of overindulgence this week. In other words, you may have been like in a drought, and so now you're going to have a flood type of situation. You may have had to sacrifice this summer, these last couple of weeks or months, and now you may be trying to make up for it all during this week. So that's good and bad. You know, it's up to you how you want to play it. I also see that this is not necessarily the very best week for anyone that has any type of a court appearance. You know, there's this justice card that is in a reverse position. So anyone that has a court appearance, or those of you that are any kind of litigation, if you can possibly postpone it, you might also want to reach out to me as well. I also see that as you get into the weekend, you're kind of accepting. Remember I told you a few moments ago about you sacrificing someone. You might be getting ready to cut somebody off. As you get to this Friday, Saturday type of time, for next week, I do see where you are accepting it. Like, in other words, this is okay with you. You're going to have to do what you have to do. You have to accept your losses and you have to move on. And I certainly see a very beautiful energy. It's a very blue and somewhat purple energy as you move on from something, but it's a light purple. It's a beautiful aura around the idea of moving on from something. As you get to the end of this 7-day cycle, there certainly is information positive and productive and progressive information about employment and employment opportunity is coming your way. Something positive is coming your way regarding employment. And then when you end this 7 day cycle, by the time you get to September the 2nd, you might actually be very seriously involved with your significant other, whatever that may mean to you. In other words, some of you, I know I have a client who's thinking about visiting their significant other in a different state or different country. You might have that. You might also have the idea of spending more time with your family, your significant other, as you end this 7 day cycle. And that might be part of the celebration that I'm talking about. Also, the overindulgence. You might be wanting to spend a lot of time with them as you end this 7 day cycle. I do have very good news from the spirit world regarding finances. Aquarians, please email me, and I'll be more than happy to share what the spirit has shared with me. Those of you that heard something that resonated with you, would like to come in for a private consult, the information is on the screen. I look forward to hearing from you. The waiting period right now is only 1 to 3 days, so that's what it is now. Of course, as days progress, they become a little bit longer. So those of you that are interested in a private consult, please reach out to me very quickly. Thank you. Stay blessed, Aquarians.